welcome back to another edition of The Missing Link right here on the Flow of God's Own State Flow 94.9 FM. The Missing Link, of course, you know, is a Drive of the Heart to Build initiative, a team whose primary purpose is to drive a holistic development of the youth. And every Saturday we are joined by two founders of this initiative, but today we have only one pilot flying the plane. Father Augustine Obi is right here, and we are ready for another edition. Good evening, Father. How are you?
Good evening, Dara. You mentioned one pilot flying the plane. You know, sometimes it's very risky for a pilot to fly the plane.
Why?
Well, the other pilot might get fatigued, and there is always a fear of...
Okay, do they change it on the air? Can they interchange in the air?
Absolutely. So you have 2 or 3 pilots on the crew. So if the other pilot gets tired or is fatigued, he or she can exchange the role. I just learned one new thing today. Well, I'm not an expert on that one, but my only fear is I just hope that the flight will land safely.
Okay, Reverend Father Augustine is one of the founders of the Heart to Build initiative, and today we will be talking about the Nigerian youth and the Japa syndrome. Of course, Japa in English language is, you know, the means to run away. You want to run away from Nigeria and go to...
Japa is not English language, you know.
It's
a Yoruba word.
Yeah, I said Japa in English means...
Okay.
I know Japa is run, right?
Yeah,
to run.
flee.
Flee. Okay, so you heard it. Nigerian youth and the urge to flee.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to talk about today. And of course, Father, let me even start with this. What is that thing that makes we Nigerians see Japa as an achievement?
Well, from the root word Japa, you know, flee, escape. When you are escaping or running away, obviously something is chasing you, and something is drawing your attention. And many Nigerian youth, by the way, we need to be very careful, or rather considerate when we are talking about Japa, because migration is as old as humanity, though.
True.
It's not just peculiar to Nigerians, you know. But that's not to justify the Japa syndrome. I think we do it in droves, though. You know, and that's why when you go to many embassies in Nigeria, even when you go to what's it called, the immigration here along Aba, Owerri, Port Harcourt Road. Yeah. Jesus Christ! If you see the sea of heads there, you'll be amazed. You know, and you kind of ask yourself, what are they doing here? Most of them are looking for passports to Japa to escape the country. And I guess the fundamental question you asked is, well, why are many Nigerians
seeing it as an achievement?
Seeing it
as an escape.
Well, even people fast, people pray to Japa.
True.
No, honestly,
it's a prayer point.
Absolutely, it's a prayer point. People pray to leave the country, and you ask yourself, why are we leaving the country in droves, especially young people? Of course, just like animals that migrate from one particular place to the other, they migrate to look for greener pastures, and people migrate, you know, to go to a saner environment that is more secure, that gives them, you know, opportunities to explore, opportunities to live their dream. So, and what it means, I think it is an indictment on Nigeria as a system. So if the system is not rotten, if the system gives people, an environment, gives us a conducive environment to thrive, nobody would run away. Yes.
So I don't know, but have you ever seen any? I mean, I've not seen or I've not heard, but I don't know if maybe you've seen. Have you seen any citizen of another country wanting to Japa to Nigeria?
Of course I have.
Oh wow, really?
I've seen Indians who have obtained...
They wanted to
They've actually obtained citizenship, Nigerian citizenship. But I think sometimes too, I think there are too many areas to this conversation, because a lot of us do not have faith in our country. Yeah, but there are people that live overseas who also come here to search for greener pastures. I think well, we need to emphasize that because there are many expatriates in Nigeria. and they do go for citizenship, Nigerian citizenship. But, wow. I think I have to emphasize as well, it is just a marginal number compared to the number of Nigerians that leave Nigeria in droves. Yeah, it's a marginal number. But I think there are two sides to the story, because migration is as old as humanity. Even countries like India, China, they have benefited a lot from migration, and Nigeria as well is benefiting from migration. When our expatriates, people who have the requisite skill and expertise to work overseas, when they go over there, when they Japa, they also give us some remittances. And I think on average, people who live overseas, Nigerians who live overseas, remit over $25 billion to the Nigerian economy. So we contribute enormously to the growth of the Nigerian economy.
But right now, are there risks, like apart from the travel distance and all of that, are there risks that migration can come with? I mean, right now we're seeing something in the UK, something in the news. I don't know if you've seen where the UK is trying to cut down on their population or something like that, and they're talking about deporting Nigerians, even students. Do you think there's any risk with entirely banking on migration? Oh, let me just leave this place and just go and find a greener pasture in some other country. We've heard how, Nigerians are being mistreated in a lot of countries. Are there other risks that people do not even know about? People who still have the Japa as a dream that they wish to actualize someday?
Well, as we've discussed, it's not so much about leaving Nigeria. It is about what are you leaving Nigeria for? What are you going to do overseas? But in saying that, though, anyone who leaves Nigeria and is able to find his or her ground overseas, but because overseas they have a dignity of labor. So even people who do menial work are paid well, and when you kind of change the money from dollars or pounds to Nigerian naira, that has little value, you have massive amount of money, and I think the question you asked is quite germane, in the sense that people who leave Nigeria, I mean, whilst it is encouraged, it is also discouraged. Should be careful of what they are looking for, what they are going out to do overseas, and people leave through other inordinate means, inordinate ways, instead of following the right process. And that's why and Nigerian young people do this out of desperation, because they are living, for them Nigeria does not provide them with the conducive environment to thrive, to live their dream. I think the question should be, why are our young people living in droves?
We're going to come to that. Okay. So this one I'm about to ask now is, so do you think that if we get Nigeria working, or if there's a working system here, will the Japa syndrome reduce? Do you think it would? Or there are just some people who, despite it working or not, they still want to leave?
Well, look, I think I might be wrong here. I think over 80% of Nigerians who live overseas would like to come home. Would like to come home if the environment is conducive. And if that's the case, the question now is what is happening to Nigeria? How can we get the system running appropriately so that people will feel comfortable to come home to work, so that people will have faith in Nigeria? And that's why, as it stands today, Nigerians, young people should trust the system. Young people should make sure that this 2023 election, that they vote for people who have the requisite skill and expertise, to turn things around in our country. Yep.
Okay, so let's go to what you wanted to say before. The reason why the Nigerian youths are just hell-bent on leaving. Like you said, it's even a prayer point.
It's a prayer point.
It's a wish.
Yeah, people request masses.
So what is the problem? I want to know. Is it the working, or just the fact that you want to answer, I'm abroad? Okay, so speaking of abroad, Father, is Nigeria considered abroad? Like, if you are in, somebody who is in US and wants to come down to Nigeria, can they say, I'm going abroad?
Of course, it's abroad. Nigeria is abroad, isn't it?
right, of course, we are still trying to keep this conversation still roped around the coming elections. Yep. I mean, if you get your PVC and you vote, you would not have any reason. That thing that was driving you away will not leave you. But Father, would I be truthful if I say that I'm one of the Nigerians who wouldn't want to live abroad? I feel like I'm just somebody who might just want to vacation and come back if this place works fine.
Yes, I mean, many Nigerians do that.
Because Nigerians are even dealing with racism abroad.
Oh, of
and
course.
They still don't mind. Why?
But racism is, I guess, is part of the human condition, though. Even though in Nigeria, too, we have tribalism. I think these are the things we need to watch. I mean, when we talk about the racial discriminations overseas, is as old as humanity. Back home in Nigeria, tribalism is also the bane of our country. So we've not been able to understand what makes us human beings. And that's why we have the problems we have in Nigeria, because human life is not valued. Because if human life is valued, then the people we've put in the position of power would also take that into cognizance and work for the betterment of the country and work to make our system as efficient as it is found overseas. And that's why that's the only way Nigeria can work. And when we value human life, when we see infrastructural development not just as a benefit, it's a fundamental human right. It's what is expected. It should be taken for granted. But in our country, infrastructural development is just advertised as a favor. No, when you're put into the position of power, any position of power, it is incumbent upon you to use that position to improve the livelihood of the people you're working for. So when you provide bridges for them, when you build roads for them, you're not doing them a favor. After all, the money is not your personal money. Even if it is borrowed, it belongs to the public. It's part of the Commonwealth. So you use it to improve the life of the people you're working for. And that's the only way Nigerian youth will reduce this rate of Japan, if I may use that word.
Japan. So we can call it present continuous tense. Absolutely. Of the Japa.
Yeah.
All right, we are speaking to Father Augustine Obi, one of the founders of the Heart to Build initiative, which of course they are the facilitators of the Missing Link every Saturday right here on Flow 94.9 FM. After this short break, of course, we will be right back and open the phone lines. I have a fantastic question I want to ask you, so make sure you keep it locked. And of course, an information also for some of our winners from last week. Keep it locked. This is still the Flow of God's own stage. Okay, welcome back to the Missing Link right here on Flow 94.9 FM. We are speaking to Reverend Father Augustine Obi, one of the founders of the Heart to Build initiative, and we're talking about the Nigerian youths and their intensive love for Japa. I mean, they want to leave the country. They don't leave. Some of them don't even know why they want to leave. But they just want to leave, Father.
Father,
they just want to leave.
Well, they just want to leave because we don't have job opportunities for them,
and
we don't have good roads, we don't have good infrastructures.
Yes, before the short break we went for, you spoke about infrastructure. That was a very fantastic angle you came from. And so let's speak about the education part. I mean, some of them want to use school as a reason.
You
hear most of them say, "I will use school." So it's not like I want to further my education. It's I will use school and.
I think people use education as a vehicle to travel overseas.
True.
And the next question is, well, after acquiring the requisite skills and expertise overseas, are we able to come home, to give back to the country that has given us so much? And the thing is, can I be proud of Nigeria? Can I have faith in the system? I will have faith in the system when, after studying for 4 years in the university. By the way, I think it's hard for students to study for only 4 years because of what has become like incessant strike in Nigeria. So anyway, after graduating from university, am I able to secure good job for myself? That's the thing. After studying for many years in our universities, yet students cannot find jobs to work. And when you work, you kind of exercise your brain. You put into work what you've been able to learn, and you earn some money, which gives you, dignity and a sense of worth. But that's not the case in our country. So, and that's the problem. When we don't have job opportunities, when there are no infrastructures, what's the next line of action? Young people look for avenues to leave the country so that they can go to a better climb that will give them opportunities to live their dream.
So we're speaking about some of the reasons why the Nigerian youth wants to japa or want to flee. I mean, that was the most intense synonym in English the father gave us. Flee, escape. Escape. Our father has spoken about infrastructure, and I spoke about education, but somehow he has also included unemployment. Now let us go to health.
What about, of course,
the health? That is another
security
reason
as well. Security. And okay, I was listening to the radio this morning. I was this fantastic. I don't know whether he was a medical doctor or not. He was talking about glaucoma surgery, how to use laser technology to do glaucoma surgery. And now these are basic things you find overseas. The basic things like water, electricity, good roads. If they are not provided for in your country, what do you do? If you can't find a better hospital to treat yourself, that's why a lot of our politicians who have the means travel overseas, and that's the irony of the whole thing. Father, they travel overseas.
Yes, that's
to get good health care.
Shake it.
But they can't even provide the same health care to their own citizens. Isn't it unfortunate?
Very unfortunate, Father.
Quite unfortunate. Why wouldn't our young people travel overseas? Why wouldn't they live in droves? Why wouldn't they?
All right, you can call us in right now. Let us know. Like Father said, if we can get Nigeria working again, which of course is going to be your job by voting in the next elections coming up 27 days from now. But if we can finally get Nigeria to work, tell us, will you still want to leave? And if you still want to live under a working Nigeria, why do you still think you want to leave? 0808-1826949 or 0811-6052-949. The numbers again, 0808-1826949 or 0811-6052-949. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening. So, I've been playing the discussion. My name is Blue.
All right, go ahead.
Coordinator better with multiple right.
All right.
Based on the topic on ground, why would we want to Japa as youth when in our system here things are not working as it used to be? Tell me a system that is working. The government will give an order and put a law, and the government will not match the order with action. How can you tell me that fuel is supposed to be sold at 184? And somebody who is selling fuel as an independent marketer will go and add his own price, and the government will do nothing about it. You go to the market today, you buy bread of 40 naira. The next day they say it's 100 naira. In UK, as I speak to you, the price commodity of things have not changed for 162 years. The price commodity of milk is still sold at the same price as at 162 years ago. But here in Nigeria, prices are changing. Things, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Okay.
Like the revenue.
Okay, so let me ask you. So let me ask you, if after the elections things get better later on, would you still want to run away?
Personally, I'm not even planning to run away personally.
Okay.
Because I've run away to work with this our corrupt system and make my money. I only want to go outside the country for a holiday. But if it's to go outside just go and make money, I believe we're not option to that.
Beautiful.
There's money in Nigeria, and there is this I'm blessed.
True.
But other people who might not have the kind of mindset I have might decide to run away. But once the system is working, plenty people will come back and remain in the country and will work together as one. So a lot of things need to be fixed. All the youth, we should stand up on our feet and vote in the right candidate. We already know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling.
You say we already know the right candidate. Hello. Hello. Yes, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening.
What's your name? All right.
CJ. CJ, welcome.
All right, go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, good evening. Father, good evening.
Good evening, CJ. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. What are an interesting topic? But Yes, why won't we live? I say the truth that we want to live. What are we doing here? In our friends' families, if you don't bring money, maybe you are going to school graduated, you are not, bringing money. You are nobody in our society, in our churches. So we want to live. We want to go to a society that will, value us. Yeah, nothing is working here. And I want to ask a question. In all that's happening, who is to blame?
Deep question.
Deep question, yeah.
Yes.
All right, don't worry. I'll ask Father. Let's see if Father has it. Father, so CJ is asking, in all of this, who is to blame? Because me, I don't know.
Well, see, look, we need to blame ourselves.
True.
Both the government, people in the position of power, and also the people that are governed. You know why? I think the previous caller talked about the profiteering and racketeering in the system. Well, I think the problem as well is the government makes laws without even enforcing those laws. And if laws are made and are implemented properly, and people understand the tones of the law and abide by it accordingly, there will be no problem in our system. And again, it's because of the greediness, how corrupt the system is. Everyone is involved, and that's why all of us, we have to work together to make this country a better place. So everyone, both the people in the positions of power and those who have been governed, should have a totally different mindset on how this country should be governed and how this country should be run.
Father, I totally agree with you when you say we all should be blamed. Because there are some things that happen even in the country at the moment that we all want to blame. We are too quick to blame the government, forgetting that we also have our part to play. I mean, we see the petroleum sector right now, it's a mess, and they at the head, they are saying that they gave an order for fuel to be sold at this price, but then private distributors have taken the law into their hands and want to do what they want to do. So please, I and Father and Onyera Afwachuku, who of course is here with us in the spirit,
but invisible, and
the entire Had to Build initiative, we are begging you, if you want to Japa, just wait small after the election, right? If they can Japa, if they want to. Well, but they should just stay and vote. Let them just stay and vote.
Well, the thing is, I think there are two sides of the coin here, because if you want to Japa, but Japa is both positive and negative. When you travel overseas, you're able to, acquire the requisite skills and knowledge. You can work and then remit the money back to the Nigerian system, which helps to improve our economy. It's a good thing, But if you're staying behind, all of us, whether you are overseas or in Nigeria, we all have to, work together to make our country a better place. But a country where its young people, the life wire of the country is running away from it, should ask itself a very, very fundamental question.
Okay, we are speaking about the Japa syndrome and its deep connection with the Nigerian youth. And of course, you've heard from Father Augustine, who is one of the founders of the Had to Build initiative, the drivers and the facilitators of the Missing Link. So, Father, I mean, I don't know if, let us assume that there are some people who really have the right reason. No matter how working the sector of a country is, people still want to travel for one reason or the other.
Yes.
I mean, we have people from US going to the UK and the UK going
for
to
holidays,
Germany.
For sightseeing.
Exactly. So, I mean, which country do you think is the best right now for education? Can you give any? Because me, I might end up running, but I want to vote first.
Do you want to Japa?
I mean, you can never.
Do you want to Japa?
Maybe I will just Japa, maybe later, but it has to be after the election. Let me vote first. Okay. I will vote and give Nigeria like 1 year
before you Japa.
Before I move. So, Father, which country do you think has education right now on lock?
I'm not an agent.
Okay. All right. Father doesn't doesn't want to give me that advice. Well, you can also take him not giving that advice as a way of also giving you hope. Absolutely. To hold on and have absolute
Let's
hope.
Stay together and make this country a better place.
Let's not run to anywhere. I mean, we're all Nigerians. If you run, you will come back. Oh, yes. That's the truth. I mean, we should stay here, even if you have your passport.
Are you trying to say we should stay here and die here?
No, we're not going to die by God's grace. But then, I mean, this is our country. It's our own. No matter where you run to, you will still return.
I tell people my heart is in the country. My heart is in the country. So we should all make efforts during this election period to vote the right people in so that they will turn things around.
All right. So let us give quick good news. Last week we had the winners on the show where we said, okay, we're going to pick our winners with the criteria of going to our Facebook page. That's the official How to Build Initiative Facebook page. Drop a picture of your PVC, and instructions were given. We said, please cover your VIN. And so far, of all the comments, we had 2 winners right there. And I have been given the instruction to announce the winners. And of course, from last week, just in case you're listening, we have King Josh and Engineer Nelson MC Maduka.
Wow.
Both of you, Father, should we clap for that? I mean, it's free food. Free food. Free food. Yes, you have just won yourself lunch at Daily Feast Foods. Of course, how do they reach you? They send you a DM on the
send
Facebook.
Us a DM on our Facebook page.
Okay, all right. So if you are listening right now, King Josh and Engineer Nelson MC Maduka, both of you have just won a free lunch right here. I mean, I hope you're in Umahia, but if you're not, still reach us out. So I'll go and eat the food on your behalf. All right, thank you, Father, for another beautiful edition of The Missing Link.
Yes, we would like to use this opportunity to thank the managers of Daily Feast Food for their generosity, and we look forward to improving our partnership with them. We would like to use this opportunity. Onyi and I would like to use this opportunity to thank the management of Nigerian Custodial Center prisons in Umuahia, Afara Umuahia, for the wonderful ministry outreach that we initiated last Tuesday. We would like to thank them for the great job they're doing, and the opportunity they gave us to make impact, amongst our young people.
All right, I'm leaving you with this particular reminder that the How to Build Initiative is an NGO, and they are welcoming new members. Remember, it is not, you're not coming into the organization to gain anything. You're coming with your wholeheartedness to, of course, deliver and, of course, improve. Yes, make impact in the life of the youth. So if you're open, no matter how little your donation is to you, it can go a long way. So make sure that if you want to join this NGO, go straight to their Facebook page. It's How to Build Initiative, HEART, 2 as in the figure, and build, BUILD initiative. Send them a message, and of course you will be replied as soon as possible. Thank you so much for this edition, and don't forget, go and get your PVC. That is still what this whole thing is about. Get your PVC and make sure you come out and vote. It's 27 days until the elections. Have yourself a very wonderful evening from I and Reverend Father Augustine and the entire Had to Build Initiative. Yes, who is with us in the spirit.
In the spirit, yes.
Yes. Have yourself a very wonderful evening, and of course, please, the winners, do well to send us a quick message. Thank you.